I was going to be done uploading for the day, but then I took a look at 24/7 scheduled commits just to see what time Jared Curtis was committing tomorrow. It's 5 o'clock, in case y'all were wondering, but it's Nashville time, I believe. I saw there's a modern-day receiver supposed to commit today, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting. I wonder where he committed. And I saw it was Ohio State, so it was like modern-day Ohio State. That's going to be a pretty good receiver to watch, I think. Obviously, Ohio State with the record that they have past 5+ really years, putting receivers at the next level. Modern day as well, powerhouse in Santa Ana, California. Every year they've got very good players. But yeah, 6'2", 180. Like I said, modern day California, Ohio State. Really not much more else to really hype up this video with besides those two logos there. So let's get started. Yeah, so often I recently have been trying to hold my comments to the end of the video, but I mean, this whole thing, great get off. Really hard for me to fathom how he even caught that, to be honest. That was crazy. But yeah, it was pretty good way to start. Man, talk about an understanding of angles and the tackling angles people take. Look at what he did to this kid. How subtle this move was and how much space he created for himself on this one play here. After, with the ball in his hands here. Look how subtle that move is. It's just a little hezzy step. Just a little hesitation, and gave himself the whole sideline there. You know, another point to note when we're watching a kid like this, modern day plays a great schedule. Like, I'm pretty sure this is Dillard, which it sounds right that they played each other this year, but geographically it doesn't really make sense. It's crazy that these high school teams travel the way they do, but when you're watching a kid do all this, and if you try to like take some points off, oh, it's only high school, you know, he won't separate at the next level. Well, this is about as good as this level gets. Scheduled modern day plays. So always try to highlight that when we're watching these kids from these better schools, that maybe you don't believe that modern day develops better players than other schools. I definitely do, but at the very least, the experience of playing against the country's best, you know, that definitely means something. So this kid's listed at, what did we say, 6'2"? I don't know what it is. I really don't see these kids. This kid looks closer to 6 foot, you know. I just watched Booby Feaster yesterday. His dad or his uncle or something said, "Oh, he's actually 6'3", but he's listed at 6'1.5", and he looked smaller than that to me. But with no official numbers, we're just gonna have to do guesswork. I don't think he's quite 6'2". I don't think it matters. The kid's a great route runner. Obviously, still have ball skills from the beginning. Burst is good. Him off the line. Not only is it athletically explosive, but it looks pretty refined in the sense that the kid, I don't think he runs track. I don't know. I actually have no idea. But this is not a good example here. That was a great route, but kind of false stepped like 3 times. It worked, but on the other routes, he's doing good, though. That was the point I was trying to make. Very clean release, I thought. So I'm gonna start listening to these numbers a bit more. You know, they're verified by these Under Armour camps or whatever. I still really don't believe these camps, because if you've ever actually been to one and you see the way they do it, maybe they slow down with the top kids, but there's like 1,000 kids at these camps, and I think they do a very sloppy job, to be honest, on the whole. So I don't really like trust these numbers, but if he's listed at 6'2", I guess I'll buy it. We'll give him a 4 for now on the frame. I'm going to go easy 6 on the ball skills, 6 on the burst, 5 on the change of direction, 5 on the short area quickness, and I'm going to give him a 4 on the long speed. Wasn't really sold on it quite yet, but I always go with a lower number when I'm between 2. So, this is a point I want to make here. This is a good situation to make it in, I think. So that was Kayden Dixon-Wyatt. Like I said, not a perfect prospect. I don't think any player is a perfect prospect. And I get a lot of people in my comments when I'm not giving the kid a perfect score in every facet. These college teams are looking for 1 or 2 traits to develop around, and this kid obviously has more than 1 or 2 traits to develop. And you go to a school like Ohio State who produces receivers, I try to relay that here, and maybe sometimes I lose value that I'm not skeptical enough of these players, or I'm overly skeptical on them, but I'm like, it's more or less, I look for 1 or 2 traits that the kid already has, and then I try to project at the next level. This kid's going to Ohio State. It's probably going to work out. You know, a team that if it can't work at Ohio State, it can't work anywhere else in the country. I'll tell you that much, especially at receiver. So, definitely a great football player. Looking forward to seeing him play at the next level. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think.